welcome back to another episode of Love, Life, and Laughter right here on the I Am Destined YouTube channel. Hi, I am Larisha Warner, Coach Larisha, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. To get some things out the way, remember to like, share, comment on this post, and even subscribe to this page. We've been growing this page over the last few weeks, and I am excited about what's going to happen in the future. But I just wanted to take the time out to say thank you for tuning in. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about a previous post that was so thought-provoking that the Lord has shared with me that I've been able to kind of remember to think about as I move forward on this singlehood journey, right? So about me, I've been single. It's going on what? It feels like 10,000 years. But in actuality, I think it's going on 6 years. And for me, if I could be honest for a moment, it wasn't always easy at all. It wasn't always the greatest experience. But I thank God that through those tests and trials, through those moments, those sad places, He reminded me that I'm right where I need to be, right? So before I had gotten even to this place, in this space, I had went through multiple challenging situationships, I would say. Just in and out, just using my body for this thing and that thing. And I thought that I was going to ultimately be in a place where I can really fully commit myself to someone who would see me for me, who would appreciate me for me. They weren't giving me everything that I was putting into the quote unquote relationship, right? So one day I found myself with someone that I had met, and I'm thinking everything was going to be so amazing. He was attentive. He was communicating. I was getting my good morning, beautiful messages. You know, those messages that we tend to always get, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is probably in rotation, right? But he was consistent with it, right? So as time went on, I was like, okay, I might be intrigued by him. Like, you know, we feel like we might be a good fit. We're communicating, we're talking, yada, yada, yada. As time went on, and I can tell you this thing happened so quick, right? I was head over heels. I was so in love. And I ended up finding out some interesting things about him. And for me, after I went through so many challenging relationships before that, I was thinking like, this is gonna be the one. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna be able to introduce him to my friends and my family. And then he started shifting a little bit, right? He started becoming less attentive, less communicative, and all these things that you began to notice these signs. So what did Larisha do? Like any other person who I'm pretty sure has already done it, females, sometimes we get upset. We start writing these messages. So one day I decided to write him a dissertation, and it was like 4 pages of notes about how I felt like, you know, I thought you were different. I thought you was not like the last guy, and that, you know, what we had was great. I thought we were all on the same page. Then all of a sudden you're acting weird. You told me when you got your new job that things wasn't going to change, but things are now changing, right? And I was like, what is going on? And of course, both of us had iPhones, and he didn't understand that, you know, with this whole iPhone thing, that they'll let you know when a person has read that message, right? So as I'm watching him look at it, it showed up red, and this Negro never responded. So for me, I'm like, I know you did not respond to my message. I spent a lot of time, put a lot of thought into this, and you just gonna read the message and not say nothing. So of course, in my mind, I'm like, I am through, I am done, I'm frustrated. And for a few days, it was like that. I didn't hear from him or anything like that. And then he says, you know what, I'm sorry. You know, I was thinking, you know, I have a lot going on, blah, blah. And I'm like, what did I do? Took him back. I let him apologize. And, you know, I didn't make him work for anything after that point. And for me, it was very uncomfortable, right? So as more time went on, I'm noticing the same thing is happening again. And then I'm noting phone calls are becoming less distant. I feel like now I'm the one who's pursuing. I'm the one who's reaching out and saying, like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. And I look up and I'm noticing like, wait a minute, I don't hear anything anymore. So then what I do, send him another message yet again. And this time I was like, this is it. I'm not going through this no more. And you know what? Y'all, he read that message and I said, you know what, God, something has to be different. Something has to be different this time. You know, I have to do something different at this point, because if for me, that situation, that one hit a little differently because this was the first person who we had a title. We thought we were in a relationship, or so I thought we were, right? Maybe it was a one-sided thing. And I looked up and he ghosted me. Like, he completely stopped all forms of communication with me. He just disregarded everything as if I never had existed. And we had spent all this time together. He was at my place. He had clothes there. He had toothbrush there. I mean, Larisha, yeah, look, the old Larisha was doing some crazy stuff back then. And I was like, I can't believe this happened. So you're probably wondering, like, well, how did you meet him? Y'all, I met him online. And I know you're probably thinking, like, yeah, that's probably why. But I met him online and didn't think it was going to be like all the other people. And sure enough, I went back to the site where we met. Y'all need to stay off Plenty of Fish. Plenty of Fish, oh my gosh. Ugh, stay off of that. That is the worst one. Stay off of Plenty of Fish. Stay off of it. That is the worst one, right? And I went back and I saw that he was still active on that page. Like, for me, we had started talking for like a few months at that point. So I was like, you know, no need for me to be on here no more, because I think I found somebody. And sure enough, he was still actively using that site. So in that moment, I said, okay, God, okay, here's my answer. Now it's time for Larisha to get her life together. So I wrote a post recently that said, thank God that your last relationship didn't break you. And I am so grateful to God that that relationship did not break me, because him ghosting me, of course, it brought up some old emotions about abandonment and rejection that I hadn't really dealt with, you know? So for that to happen, it really took me through a really transformational process where I was like, you know what? I'm tired of using my body with these men. I'm tired of giving them my all and they're not appreciative. And after that moment, I was like, you know what? I don't got time for this. I don't got time to be dealing with no men who are not about nothing. But more so, it was an opportunity for me to do some self-reflection. It was an opportunity for me to say, you know what, Larisha, you deserve better. But you don't believe you deserve better because you put up with so much over all these years. So now it's time for us to do the work. So I spent literally years doing the work, really making sure that, one, I forgave him, which is crucial. I forgave him for what he did. Two, I relinquished anything that reminded me of him. So I had mailed all of his stuff back. My friend said, just burn it, throw it in the trash, put it on his doorstep. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So I literally packed all his stuff up, put it in a box, and mailed it back to him. And for me, I was like, why am I doing this? Why didn't I just throw it away? But I was like, you know, I'm not about to trash nobody's stuff. I'm going to go ahead and mail you your stuff back. Know that I know where we stand, and that's done deal. We're done. The other thing I had to remember is make sure that you break those soul ties. I'll come back and talk about soul ties later, but I literally had to sever those soul ties, going back to those memories, those moments, and really ask the Lord to like really purge anything that will link us or bond us together sexually, because again, we were having sex, I'm gonna be honest. So I needed to break those soul ties because I had no idea at the end of the day who he really was. There were things about him that I didn't know about. Still to this day, I still don't know about, right? And for me, I was like, I can't live a life like that, walking around just not knowing what's going on. So it's so important that we are grateful that, you know, that last relationship that you thought you was going to have forever, and then that the Lord severed it, or there was a block or anything like that, that truly was the Lord's protection. And that's what I had to learn as time went on. Like, the Lord protected me from stuff that I probably had no idea. If I could be honest, I knew that we were not equally yoked spiritually because we had different religions, and I tried to pretend like I didn't know, but I did know, right? And I knew that it wasn't going to work. You know, I was trying to make it work, but it was not going to work. I remember the night where I was like, oh my gosh, I have this man in my bed and I have no idea who he is. And I remember I'm like praying to the Lord, like the Lord will help him. And the Lord reminded me, like, you too busy focused on him, but what about me? What about the relationship that I have with you? And you putting all this emphasis on making sure that he's great, but what about me and making sure that our relationship is great? So I'm grateful to God that I didn't stay there. And he allowed me to literally leave, like I said before, leave that relationship with a different mindset. I'm not settling for the okie doke. I'm not settling for the good morning, beautiful messages. I'm not settling for those things anymore. Like, you're going to have to come up. You're going to have to go through God to get to me. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm glad that it didn't break me. If anything, it taught me some things about myself. It allowed me to do some inner work inside of me, right? And to really put myself on a path forward. So don't be like me. And if you found yourself like me, it's okay. Look to the Lord, just like I did. You can get out of this situation that you're in. If you find yourself thinking, oh my gosh, I'll never make it over. They were my all and I just don't know how to move forward. Really seek the Lord on it. I promise you, when I saw him with my whole entire heart on it, he not only showed me how to move forward from that relationship, but all the other ones, because I had to go back and forgive everybody else in the relationship, but also forgive myself, and carrying around that guilt and thinking that it was my fault and that I would never be worthy of love. But that devil is a lie. We're all truly worthy of not only God's love, but the love that he has for us, right? So I just wanted you to be encouraged and know that that last relationship, it didn't break you. If anything, it was the Lord's way of protecting you. So be grateful, because it could have been, it should have been, and it almost would have been another way. But that's for another video. And I just wanted you to be encouraged, you know. You're not alone on this journey. As I stated before, I've been through some stuff. So over these next couple of videos, I'm going to kind of uncover some other nuggets that I've learned from relationships in the past, to let us know, like, hey, you know, if God can do it for Coach Rish, he can do it for you too, right? So be encouraged. Again, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I told you I wasn't going to make it too long, but I just wanted to give you a little bit background about what the Lord has done as it relates to allowing that last relationship to not break me, right? So how can you stay connected with me? You can follow me on both Instagram, right? YouTube here, right? YouTube, right? On this page, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Larisha_Warner. Those are ways that you can stay connected with me. You can also stay connected with me on my website at www.divinelydestined.net, right? And then also, there's some other things that I have going on. Let's stay connected. You know, I have a ministry page, Divinely Destined Ministries. You can find that also on Instagram and Facebook as well. And if you are a sister and you're thinking like, hey, I need to build a community, I need to be around other like-minded women who are about something and who really want to pursue their purpose, who want to grow in their life, I also have a sisterhood called Destiny Sisterhood community. And it's just a group of women just coming together, encouraging each other, loving on the Lord, looking to the Lord, but also realizing, recognize that we're all here on this journey together. So let's grow, let's continue to heal, and let's propel forward. So again, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning into this episode. You can always catch new episodes Mondays that are dropping every Monday, right? Let's be encouraged. Let's stay tuned. If there's a question or comment or anything that you would like to see in a future video, why don't you drop it right in the comments below, or you can send me a DM on my social media platforms. Again, thank you so much. Again, I love y'all. This was a good episode. Be encouraged. And I wanted to let you know that God is still in control. God will take care of everything that concerns you. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.